hello, Mr. Vương and Miss Hà Phạm.
Yeah. Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
You too.
During the new year, people usually wish each other happiness and prosperity, right? We wish people prosperity. We wish people have good health. But instead of wishing people good health, why not give it to them? Wouldn't it be more valuable if we can give people good health, if we can give people happiness as opposed to just wishing it? All right, so I figured what better way to wish somebody happy is to give it to them by hosting discussion about health and happiness. So I'm redrawing the human construct. There is a new word. Vietnamese word stays the same, but I picked a different word. Thuy. Previously, I used the word rest, but I decided to use the word comfort right here. Comfort. I think comfort is a little bit more accurate than just rest. Because we're human beings, we like to be comfortable. We go on vacation. That is our chance to be comfortable.
Before you use the word cognition.
Cognition, I use, yeah. Thức, knowledge.
Yeah, cognition, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Rest.
And the word name, I used it, sometimes I use fame, sometimes I use name, but now I have decided to use identity. We are often attached to our identity. It's a little broader concept than name. So our name is part of our identity, but it's more than just our name. It's our profession. We are attached to our profession. We are attached to our identity as parents, as spouses. A person could have multiple identity, right? We could be a spouse, we could be a husband and a father, we could be a mother and a daughter, and a boss and a employee all at the same time. Okay, it is 6 o'clock, so let's see.
Rest. I mean, you replaced rest instead
With
of
comfort.
comfort.
Yeah, now I replace rest with comfort. Yeah, let's use comfort for now.
Okay, name instead of identity.
Yeah, it is now identity instead of name, right?
Okay.
So does anybody have any lessons that they want to share in the last week? Do you remember anything? Did you find any, did you have any experience in your life that is related to the human construct that you would like to share? Any realization, lesson, impression, and realization? So last week, we talked about the positive and negativity side of human nature. By the way, I'm very grateful that you guys taking the time to come join this today's Zoom today. It is New Year, and I hope you guys have had a wonderful time with your family and your loved ones. Last week, we talked about the blue part here, okay? Desire, anger, judgment, ignorance, pride, skepticism, ethic, and judgment. Those are all part of human nature. And these are wrapped up in a shell of positive and negative polarity. The blue designate negativity and the red designate positivity. And human being, that's that shell is called our human nature. It is also called our ego personality. Okay, our mind. We use our mind to analyze, to think, to judge, to survive. It makes up our personality, right? One person who is really prone to judgment, for example, has a certain personality that is distinct from a person who is, let's say, very skeptic. right? Skepticism. And so we explored the human nature, our personality, and we looked at the positive and negative polarity of each of that. When a person, in terms of desire, there's nothing wrong with desire, but desire can be positive and negative. If a person has desire that is beneficial to other people, we call it generosity. If a person's desire is negative only for themselves, we call it selfish, right? Anger also fluctuate between positive and negative. A person who is very positive is very satisfied with life, satisfaction. Person who tend to be very negative with respect to the nature of anger tend to be very wrathful, very, very angry. Okay. Ignorance, when it goes positive, it is clarity. You get clarity when you are able to expand your inner awareness about people, about things. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can achieve clarity through wisdom. Pride, it's okay to be pride. To have pride. It's okay to have self-confidence. But a person who has too much confidence in themselves, often will become very arrogant, and we call that an extreme positive side of pride, and that's not good either, because it could positive and negativity in terms of human nature can fluctuate between positive and negative. You could be very arrogant, you could be very confident, and something happened along the way that may force you to become very self-inferior. Okay. Skepticism. Okay, it's fluctuate between trust and doubt. A person who has a lot of doubt may eventually give up their doubt and become very trusting. And a person who is very trusting may find themselves become doubtful of everything that they know. Ethics. Okay, this has to do with good and evil, has to do with benevolent, doing good to other people, and cruelty, doing evil things to other people. And that too can fluctuate between between positive and negative. And we have judgment. Okay, a person who is positive in terms of judgment is very open-minded, very open to learning new things. A person who is very negative in terms of judgment is very obstinate. Okay, obstinate means not willing to let go of their own judgment, let go of their own view, and not willing to accept other people. And it turns out that as part of the nature principles and natural law, it turns out that positivity tends to equate to desirable life. People who tend to be positive, tend to be happy, who have confidence, who have clarity of knowledge, tend to attract things into their life. Their lives tend to be desirable, favorable. Do you find that to be true? On the other hand, people who are very negative, very angry, very doubtful, who are inferior, they find life to be undesirable. Okay, positivity equals desirable, whereas negativity equates to undesirable life. Right? If you're in a marriage relationship and you are very positive about your marriage relationship, you trust your husband or your wife, you are hopeful, you are caring, you are happy, then more of that, you will attract more of that. You will attract more happiness, you will attract more love, you will attract more trust and faith in your relationship. On the other hand, if you're in a marriage relationship and you are very negative, you're angry, you're blameful, you are doubting, suspicious of your spouse, then you tend to get more of that. Okay, so when you have a negativity, you attract more undesirable circumstances. Last week, I remember we helped one of the participant shift her way of thinking, right? We were able to shift her certain negative mental images about her nephew, and then she is able to create new positive image about her family member. And so it is hopeful that her life and her relationship with that individual will improve over time. So are we clear on the idea of positivity and negativity so far? That if in this whole human construct, right? If we just focus on getting more positive, then we will find more favorable or desirable circumstances in life. Yeah? Does anybody have a question about that so far? Okay. And of course, too much positivity also tend to swing back to negativity. So we ask the question of how do we return to balance? Okay. And so we talked about the idea of serenity, about inner peace. Let me see if I can find that. Otherwise, I can redraw it. Okay, that's okay. We talk about the idea of inner peace when we experience circumstances, we experience somebody saying something or some event happen. Instead of allowing it to take on a positive or negative charge, we just take it in as the way it is, the truth. Okay, so we receive using the truth within ourselves. So this inner circle here, we call it the true self. The true self, or the truth within ourselves. It's very simple truth. We know that we are hearing, we know that we see, okay? And when all we need to do is know that we hear and know that we see, then we can receive all information and all events as the way they appear, okay? It's the truth. And it doesn't take on a positive or negative charge, and we don't have to suffer for it. On the other hand, if we let the information go through the ego and the personality, then it takes on a positive or negative charge. And then we often have to suffer for it. Okay. The pleasures of life and the joy that we experience as a result of our ego personality sometimes, feels good, but it doesn't last. It has a way of dissipating, and pleasure often turn to pain. Joy easily turn into sadness. And so if we can learn to see things as the way they are, the truth within ourselves, then we can experience peace. But we'll put that on the side for now. We're going to go back to taking a closer look at the positive and negative polarity within the human construct. So I begin with sort of question, okay? Sort of, we look at the way things are, okay? So we already said that when we have positivity in life, we get more favorable or desirable circumstances, right? So there's a term, there's a term called fortune. Okay, in fact, fortunate. Right? Has anybody ever said, "I'm very fortunate"? Or how about blessed? Okay. How about lucky? Right? Do you know anybody? Think about your friends, your family, and that you think, oh, they are very lucky. They seem to have things go their way all the time. They have good health, they have good finance, they have wonderful relationship, and they seem to be very fortunate, very lucky. And they don't seem to have done anything. Oh, maybe they did do something. Okay. Blessed, fortunate, lucky. And at the same time, we have people who are unfortunate or unlucky, or even some people are unblessed. Right? when we are driving on the street and suddenly, boom, another car hit us. Do we say that we are unlucky? We didn't really, did anything. Right? We're unlucky. It is an unfortunate accident. People say that, right? Unfortunate accident. Things that happen to be unfortunate. And there are people who go through their lives and they never achieve any kind of fortune. They suffer a lot, and we say, wow, that person may be unblessed. Okay. And so today we are going to use a little bit of the spiritual and religious perspective, a little bit of a Christianity, a little bit of Buddhism, to see if we can analyze a little bit more about the human construct, the ego, personality, the mind, and see how we can increase the fortune and decrease the unfortunate circumstances in our lives. Okay. So, and we're going to talk about in terms of energy. So inside of this human construct, there are, in addition to the positive and negative polarity that surround our human nature, there is an invisible energy of, let's use the color. If we're going to use red for good, let's do good. Okay, with energy, let's see, three energies. Okay. Spiritual energy. Yeah, we'll call it. No, ethic. I forgot. It is this word. Ethic. 3 ethical. 3 ethic energies. It is good, evil, and let's use intellectual merit. Okay. Ethic/spiritual energy. And we'll make this clear in a little bit. Good and evil. Okay, everybody understand good and evil, right? Human being, we have, this is part of human being. We have ethic, we have good and evil. There are times when we behave good, which is benevolent to other people, and there are times that we are very cruel to other people, right? We see that in the world. We see other people, human being, we understand good and evil. Let me just tell you a little bit of a reference to the Christian Bible. In the beginning, when God created human beings, God put human being in the garden, and called the Garden of Eden, and God gives the human being, the man and the woman, the right to eat whatever fruit they want in the garden. Okay, they get to eat any fruit they want in the garden. They however, they are forbidden to eat one fruit from one tree. It is called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Of course, human being, we had the free will. So instead of obeying God, we decided to eat the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. And from the moment that human being ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, we come to know good and evil. Before that, human being were very true. We were innocent. We were existing as our true self. We're happy. We were innocent. We know that we hear. We know that we see. We did not know good and evil, and we did not know suffering. But from the moment that we knew good and evil, we began to suffer. We began to initiate a lot of the other personality. Okay. And from a physical world perspective, we understand causality of good and evil, right? We understand that if we let's say, commit a crime, or let's say we do something evil in society, if we hurt or kill somebody, then society will punish us, right? That is causality in the physical, in the the law, the legal system. If we commit murder, then the police will arrest us, and we put in jail. That is the cause and consequence of human society. We understand that. We also understand that if we are being arrested for a crime and we try evade the crime, we run away from the police, then the crime gets worse. We get an additional crime add-on to the initial crime, right? Has any of you ever been stopped by a police for traffic, for driving, or okay, yeah. Marianne, you have too, right? Yeah. If the police, let's say you violate the traffic law, we run the red light or we drive too fast and the police flag us down, we have to stop. And if we stop, we will get punished by whatever the law prescribed, maybe monetary financial fees, fine, or something like that. But if we choose not to stop and we run away, we evade the police, then we get an additional fine on top of that. So we can accumulate more and more negativity, okay? And then the punishment will be worse, right? Now, that's easy to understand in the law, in the legal system. However, there are, when it comes to human interaction, it gets a little bit more complicated. There are times that we will do things that we don't even know that we have done good or evil. Yet it affects another person negatively or positively, and it affects another person negatively or positively, and it goes around and around, and eventually we will experience an undesirable circumstance that we didn't really understand how to happen. Okay. Take for example, okay, if we I don't want to make up too much thing, but let's say one day you yell at your children. Okay? You yell at our children. At that moment, when we yell at our children, what happened is that we cause the child to go negative in their ego personality scale, right? When we yell at somebody, we cause them to go anger. That the anger now becomes negative. When that person experiences a negativity, what happens that each of us, we accumulate a seed, an energy within us, an evil seed. It is an energy of bad fortune, okay? When we cause somebody to feel good, to go positive, let's say we are very generous and we give somebody a gift, we cause that person to be positive, right? They're happy, they experience pleasure and joy. When they experience positivity, we also deposit a positive seed inside of our spiritual energy. And then as a result, if that person is very happy and generous, that person feels happy as a result of our generosity, then it is possible that eventually that person will give us a gift back. So now we have received a fruit that is a result of the seed that we have planted. Right? What goes around comes around. If we cause somebody to be angry, if we yell at our children, then immediately that child has become more wrathful. That child has gone negative. We receive a seed of evil energy, and so our affinity with that person has suddenly become undesirable. That person no longer like us. Could be a child right there. The child could be angry, and as a result, the child won't listen to us, or the child may resent us. That is a very, that's a simple example of an interaction between a parent and a child. But there are things that we do that sometimes you can't even see that. We may say something to another person and we may even compliment them, but they may perceive the compliment as an insult. And as a result, their energy goes negative. And then eventually it goes down. That person stop liking us. That person will behave unfavorable to us. Do you understand the idea so far? So we're going to try to explore the 3 energy block. Okay. The good energy. Okay. So we're going to call this positivity. Oops. Good and evil is very simple. Okay. Negativity. Most religion will teach us the causality of good and evil by telling us to do unto others what you have done unto yourself. Okay, in the Bible, it says, do to other people what you would want other people to do to you. That is a statement on the causality, on the seed and the fruit. If you do good thing to other people, you're not going to get good thing back to you. If you do bad thing to other people, you're going to get bad things to you. Okay, so human beings, we have this spiritual, ethical energy block. And intellectual merit, we'll talk about later. It has to do with helping other people expand their inner awareness to experience clarity in terms of this part of their ego personality. Instead of people becoming delusional, we help people experience clarity and enlightenment. Okay, hello, Mr. Hui. Thank you for joining our Zoom on New Year's Day. Okay, so first, you can write down if you want. We will understand negativity first. Okay, negativity simply corresponds to causing negativity within us, right? The seed of evil within us. Okay, this is evil within us, negativity within us correspond to the negativity that we cause for other people. When we cause other people negativity, we accumulate the energy of negativity. We accumulate the seed of evil. And as a result, we will attract undesirable circumstances in life. Okay? Once again, negativity corresponds to negative polarity that is created when we cause other people to suffer, to experience pain, to go negative. And as a result of causing other people to go negative, we accumulate. Think of it as a fortune account. Okay, think of it. We have 3 fortune accounts. Our bank account. We put money into our bank account. We have 3 fortune accounts. Every time we commit an evil act or say something that causes other people to suffer, we deposit one little seed in our evil account. Okay, in our bad fortune account. Okay, and it is nestled within the shell of human nature. It is not in the shell of our true nature. Okay, the inside here is our true nature. We see and we hear things authentically. That's our true nature. Good and evil reside within this shell of human nature, the ego personality, and it has positive and negative polarity. Okay, this is a shell of ego personality. It fluctuates between good and evil, and every time we cause other people to go positive, we accumulate a seed of positivity. Whenever we cause people to go negative, we accumulate a seed of negativity. Okay, do we understand that so far? Yeah, pretty simple, right? Okay. So when we accumulate a lot of negativity within us, okay, this energy, this spiritual ethical energy, when we accumulate a lot of negativity and that negativity is activated, we start to experience an imbalance in our life. We start to experience a lot of undesirable circumstances. We experience pain, we experience suffering, We experience crisis in health, in finance, in relationship, depending on how much negativity we have accumulated in that aspect of life. Okay. Now the thing is, sometimes you can ask, oh, what happened if a person caused themselves a lot of suffering? If a person blamed themselves, does that increase their the negativity in their evil account? No, because they're already experienced the negativity that is there. Okay, so when a person blames themselves, they're already basically using up the credit inside that bad account. Does that make sense? Bad fortune account. There's a good fortune and a bad fortune account. Okay. When negativity activates, it disrupts our lives in various ways. When we hang on, let me just checking my note. Okay. So the idea of positive and negativity is something that accumulates over a long period of time. Yeah, Marianne, you had a question? Go ahead and raise your hand. I mean, go ahead and unmute. Did you want to say, ask a question or share something?
Yeah, you're talking about like the cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, formula. But in reality, you know, you see some people, they do a lot of bad stuff, you know, but that you know they have a very luxury life,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Good.
So how do you
Good. Yeah,
explain
good
that?
question. That is a good
Yeah,
question.
some
Yeah.
people, you know, but you know, do all, you know, like we look at them like, wow, they did a lot of bad, you know, like
Yeah.
negative, yeah, cause a lot of pain,
Suffering, yeah.
yeah, suffering for people around them. But then look at their life. They have houses, big houses, have, you know, beautiful cars and things like that. How do you explain that?
And you can ask the same question the other way. There are a lot of people who does a lot of good things to other people. They do a lot of charity. They give to the poor. They help people. Yet, why do they constantly experience bad fortune? Right? They help people, yet they lose money. They they get into accident. They get into health problem. They get divorced. All right. So why is it that some people who seem to behave very negatively, yet they experience a lot of positivity, while other people behave very positively, yet experience a lot of negativity? Okay, so you have to understand, in order to understand this, we have to consider that those individual already has in their account either a lot of credit or a lot of seed in their good or evil account. If a person is experiencing a lot of desirable things, okay, they live a luxurious life, let's say a lot of money, they have a lot of health, all that means is that they are using their good fortune account. They are using their good fortune account. All the positive seed inside their good fortune account has now manifest in a physical form in terms of money, in terms of a luxurious life. Why? Because they already have that fortune account. They already have a lot of positive energy in their fortune account. Just because they're behaving negatively doesn't necessarily mean that they are immediately going to experience negativity right away. Now, if they continue to use up their good fortune account, what do you think that's going to happen? They're going to deplete the account,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if they continue to behave negatively, what do you think is gonna happen? They're going to accumulate negativity. And so at some point, the balance will shift. At some point, the balance will shift. Okay, let's take a look at dictators, okay, dictators of the past, tyrants, okay, dictators, tyrants, leaders who cause a lot of murders and atrocity, okay. In terms of good fortune, they get a lot of support from their from the people. They can enjoy a lot of luxurious living, right? Dictators of the past. So you say, okay, that person is they're using up the positive account. And at some point, and in the meantime, they're creating a lot of negativity, right? They are suppressing people, they are killing people, they're murdering people. And they are accumulating negativity. At some point, that would shift. Do you know any dictator who lasts a long time being dictator and not experience some kind of upside down shift? At some point, the people who suffer will turn against them, and then they will lose all the luxury that they have, and they will now begin to experience the evil.
Yeah, but not in the case of communists.
Huh?
North Korea. Not in the case of North Korea. Communists, you know.
That's because we are
They are
expecting
dictator from generation to generation.
we are expecting that to manifest itself within a certain generation, but we don't know that. All we know is that if we take an individual, if we expand beyond the single lifetime, then we kind of have to consider the non-Christian perspective that a human being may have existed beyond this single lifetime, right? We have to start thinking about, okay, maybe that in their past lifetime they were able to accumulate some positivity, and as a result, they are using up the positivity. In fact, dictators, let's say Korea, they are actually, even as they are oppressing some people, they are also causing certain people to go positive, right? They have party members, they have family members, they are causing positive, they are bringing joy and happiness and pleasure to some people within the society. All right?
Right. So this philosophy just give people hope, like, okay, yeah, they accumulate a lot of, evils. So one day they will deplete their account, and they will, somebody will take over. So is that the hope? Just give up the hope?
Well, hope or not, that's up to you. Most religion, whether you're Buddhist or whether you are a Christian, even in the Christian Bible, it is said that in the judgment day, even the last strand of hair on your head will be counted. Okay, so in the Christian Bible, it says that what you sow is what you reap, right? There's the idea of sowing and reaping, right? It's the seed and the fruit. You sow the seed and then you reap the fruit. Okay. Also, let me see. Okay, so just to draw a little bit more about the positivity and negativity, how you accumulate it. It has to do with how you cause other people to go positive or negative with respect to this green circle over here. Okay, so when you cause another person to experience, to accumulate resources, appearance, identity, food, and comfort in a positive way, right? You satisfy their desire and imagination. Remember, desire and ideation. When you satisfy another person's desire and ideation about resources, appearance, identity, food, and comfort, you cause them to go positive, and you accumulate some positivity, right? Even dictator, they are able to satisfy the desire and ideation of their own party members. So they collect positivity with respect to those people. Of course, they are always living in fear, do they not? They're always living in fear of being
Mhm.
assassinated, of being overthrown. So at the same time, they're also collecting a lot of evil, a lot of negativity. So they have to kind of constantly balance that, right? At any time, a dictator can lose it, right? So yeah, so you could do evil at the same time, but that action could be considered good by another person. Just kind of start to see how dynamic the ego, personality, the human nature is playing out with this philosophy of good and evil, and that whenever we do something to another person, we accumulate a seed of that type of energy within us, and that type of energy will will accumulate, and over time it will activate. And at some point, if a dictator performs more evil act than positive act, then he will lose it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So positively is the same thing, right? When we do good to other people, that's why the golden rule in the Christianity say, do unto others what you have done unto yourself. It is just a statement on causality. It does not necessarily mean doesn't say one way or another, but it is a statement on causality. Do unto others what you would have done unto yourself. Okay, so check my note. Okay, so there's some. Okay, so what happened when we unintentionally cause another person to experience suffering? Okay, how does the energy affect us and other people? Right? What happened when we unintentionally cause other people to suffer? When we unintentionally cause suffering to other people, the affected person feels negative energy, right? Irregardless of our intention. It is our act of causing another person to suffer that will cause them to go negative. And when they go negative, it goes right back to us, and it deposits a negative seed in our account, in our evil account. And because the person is negative, we also go negative. So whether we intentionally or not, it doesn't have anything to do with the good and evil account. Okay, it is the actual act. So in order to be, you have to be smart. You don't want to go around and not think about what we do. Right? We have to be aware of the kind of behavior that we are putting out there, the way we are treating other people. Okay. So when we cause someone to suffer, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it creates negativity in that person, and it deposits a seed of negativity inside us. And we might say something casually, like without intentionally harming another person. Yet, if those words hurt other people, the act of causing pain can generate negative energy, and eventually it'll come back to us, and we will experience some undesirable circumstances. And this process happens just naturally, automatically, whether or not we're aware of it. A harsh word, an unkind act, these actions might seem minor, but they create negative energy that affect both parties, affect other people, and it affects us eventually.
But if you realize that you did that, and then you come back and apologize, so you, for some reason, we feel better,
Yeah. So
when
when you
we like you always say own it, we own it. So we feel better, even though the other person still still feel hurt. But for some reason, when they say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that," it just already make your body feel better. You
if
know,
you if you the good and evil, the bad and the good and bad fortune is not about making us feel good or bad. We can feel good or bad, by we can do that for ourselves. But this has to do with the circumstance that we receive. We could say that we apologize, but if that person doesn't feel better, then
Mhm.
our affinity with that person is still negative. They could still do something undesirable to us, right? So as long as another person still feels negative, there is a possibility that that person will do something negative back to us.
Right. But then if we apologize, then we don't deposit the negativity in our account, right?
The whether or not, no, that's a good question. That's a wonderful, whether or not we deposit a credit into our account has to do with the other person's energy. Okay. If they are negative, then we are connected. We are interconnected. We are not separate individual. If that person is still negative, then we still has a negative energy within us. It is only when that person is able to absorb their own negativity that we will be released from that negativity. Think about, let's say we discipline our children, right? When they were young, they may misbehave. We discipline them. They're going to hate us for a while. But as if the children don't like their parent, our relationship, our affinity with them is going to be strained. It's going to be negative. But at some point, if the child is blessed enough, if they are fortunate enough, if they have enough intellectual merit, they may understand, they may realize that, oh, my parent punished me because they love me. At that instant, the child negative becomes positive. And from resentment, they become appreciative. And from that moment on, they are going to behave more positively to the parent. You see that? We are not released from the negative energy until the other person becomes positive. You see how that works?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, however, so because of that, oftentimes a parent would say, okay, I'm doing this out of love. Okay, I'm disciplining my children. I'm pressuring them. I am forcing them to study. I'm being hard on them, right? Tiger mom. I'm being hard on my children because I care about their future. We may think that way. We are positive, right? We are positive. We have confidence. We're thinking that we are benevolent. We think that we are generous. Okay, we're doing it for our children. But there have been instances, real life example, where the child does not perceive that as a positivity. The child perceives that as a negativity. And so there are stories of children growing up. They will listen to the parent. They will go to school. They will achieve. They will get a PhD. And then they will give the parent, here, this is my degree. They give the parent and they go to hang themselves. Have you ever heard of that story like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can hear this is what you want.
just because we are positive doesn't mean the other person has released us from that negativity. It is the other person's negativity that will build up the bad fortune account. Okay, and they will bring us undesirable circumstances. There are stories of certain women being very pressured by their parent to go to school and achieve, and she would achieve and she would graduate, become a successful, PhD or business person, and then that she would decide to, out of spite, out of revenge, become a prostitute, for instance. Okay, so we have to be mindful about the kind of behavior that we put out there to our loved ones. Because if we do it and we don't, if we don't have the kind of wisdom and clarity, it is possible for us to maintain a you know, a lot of a lot of credit in our evil account, and we're eventually going to you know, reap the fruit of that negativity. A lot of children whose parents are very pressuring usually would end up, you know, leaving the house and they not wanting to come back. Okay, if they are blessed enough, through the process of self-discovery, through intellectual merit, they would one day realize that the parents have pressured them out of love, and then they would experience a transformation. But that is their own, that is out of their own effort, out of their own realization. Okay. Is anybody have any other question? This is a very good and evil. It's a great topic. Okay. Okay, let's see what else do I have. So harmless action, sometimes a joke. Okay, we say a joke, a thoughtless comment that we say to another person can unintentionally cause someone to feel hurt or upset. And it's a causality. And think about it. If you cause somebody to feel upset, that person with that negative energy, they may cause another person to feel upset, their families and members. And that person is going to receive that same negativity, and it's going to spread all throughout the world. And eventually it may come back to us. And we're going to experience something undesirable just because we have unintentionally caused somebody to feel upset. Okay. Another thing is when a person is sad. Okay, so you know there's the idea of sharing. Okay, when a person is sad, let's say a person is in a broken relationship, his girlfriend or his his boyfriend or her boyfriend has just cheated on them, and they're really sad, and they come to us and they talk and tell us the story. Right? Ever experienced a family member or a friend who shared with us a sad story? Anybody here? That they you know, have you ever had a friend who shared some negativity?
Yeah, I do all the time. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Okay,
attract
yeah.
all the negative people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they bring me down too.
They
So
bring you down too. Yeah.
yeah, so
Negativity has a way of spreading just as
I do
positive.
ignore them.
Yeah. So ignore them is using, you know, you don't want to ignore them, but what you want to do is you want to use the truth within ourselves. Okay. We just receive it. We just know that it is there, but we don't allow ourselves to go negative, and absolutely don't go and spread that. Don't go and tell other people that's that story, because we're going to spread negativity. You're going to cause more people negative. You can actually stop negativity in its track by activating the truth within yourself. Our true self is serenity. We'll talk a little bit more about serenity when we get to the wisdom part.
Right,
Okay.
but I have a question.
Yeah.
So when negative people share their sadness or whatever, and I don't know what to do. You know, or they always usually I just listen, you know.
Good.
And I think that's all they want. It's just like they want to take it off their chest, you know, just to to express themselves. And I said, okay, I used to, you know, give them a lesson or teach them, you know, don't do this or that. But after learning about this knowledge, I just listen. Yeah,
Good.
but I still, you know, I still let it go into the emotion.
Okay.
Yeah, I still let the 84 bubbles of illusion.
84,000 bubbles of illusion. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine.
So I have to
Okay.
learn how to stop it. That's right.
Okay, yeah, we'll learn that in the subsequent day when we talk about the level 3 wisdom. Okay, when a person share their story with us and they feel better, it is because one or two ways. One, they find an ally who become just as negative as they are. Okay, so they feel a little bit better. Doesn't necessarily mean they have gone positive. They just found more people to suffer with. It is collective suffering. If everybody is suffering, then you don't feel worse. You don't feel like you're below, or you feel the same. Okay, so that's one way. But another way that you can help another person transmute their suffering is to listen, but listen without becoming attached, becoming entangled and trapped by it.
Mhm.
Okay, and we'll get to that point. Okay, so for now, just know that the human ego, the nature, it is always operating. And one way to help other people is to listen with emptiness, right? With peace of mind, with magnanimity, be generous, and don't feed their negativity. If they say that their spouse is really bad, don't agree with them. Just listen. Because if we agree with them, then all we do is we're now created two people who suffer. Okay, right? Okay. So here's another question. Okay, so if we make somebody happy okay, let's say in a spousal relationship, one day we say something to make our spouse happy, and another day we say something else to make our spouse unhappy. Does those two cancel each other out?
I think so. Negative and positive.
They
Cancel
actually
out.
don't cancel each
That's
other
how
out.
we have track.
They actually don't cancel each other out. Okay. Every time we do, let's say we do something negative, we say something that is insulting to our spouse, we deposit a credit into our evil account. To next day, we say something positive and we make a person feel happy. We deposit a seed into our positive account. We have two accounts. There are a lot of negativity, there are a lot of positivity. When there are a lot of positivity, then the positivity will tend to manifest and you experience that more often than the negative stuff. If the positive stuff overshadow or overcrowd the negative stuff, then the negative stuff doesn't have a chance to grow. It doesn't necessarily mean that they cancel each other out. They just sit there. Right? Because another day you could say something hurtful and then boom, it manifests. It didn't cancel each other out. They just sit there. Principle of light. Okay. They don't go away completely. They're just there. But the more light you have, the less darkness will have a chance to be present. But there are people who live a happy, very positive life, good health, good wealth, good relationship, and then boom, they get into an accident. Right? Because the negative account is still there. It's just waiting for the right threshold to activate, right time to activate. Okay, so that, do you guys understand that support? They don't cancel each other out. Just because you do a lot of good things doesn't necessarily mean that you are absolved of all the sins of the past. Right, like a criminal. Think of a criminal. Let's say they've committed a crime, and they have hidden, don't tell anybody about the crime, and they go and they perform a lot of good deeds and stuff like that. But at some point, if somebody were able to discover the crime, you are still liable for that crime. Okay,
But how do you explain it? How do you explain this in religious point of view, though? Like in Christian, we believe that, okay, it doesn't matter how much sin you commit, as long as you really, really sorry, go to confession, and then God will erase or delete all the sins. Or just like in this, and I believe same thing with Buddhist people, right?
So yeah,
they go to the temple and they donate money or whatever, and they hope that those money or whatever they do at the temple will cancel out the evil doings.
Mhm.
right?
That's the idea, that's the belief. Okay, so we're going to examine to see if that belief is true or false. Okay, but there is also an idea of purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's an idea of purgatory. What is purgatory?
A temporary place.
Purgatory is a temporary place where we pay for our sin.
I
And
think
we are
it's like a car
cultivating.
wash station. You go in there, you car wash station.
It's a car wash station. I like that.
You
Okay.
go there until
Okay.
you clean, you wash
Yeah,
it
yeah,
until
yeah.
you clean, and then you
How
go
do you do
out.
that? How do you do that?
Sparkles.
How do you clean your sin?
Well, you have to use energy. You have to spend money to put money
Yeah, you
in
are
the
paying.
machine, and
Right.
you have to use your hand energy to clean and scrub, and
Yeah. Well, guess what? Purgatory is a place that we clean our sins by paying by paying a price for it. And at the same time, it is an opportunity for us to cultivate ourselves, to make ourselves worthy of heaven.
mm-hmm.
Right? Paying the price for our past deed is reaping the fruit of the seed that we have sown. Is that not? God is very fair. The causality is very fair. Whatever deed that you have sown that is an evil act, you are going to experience an outcome that is equal in value. And so in terms of human experience, let me ask you, do we not suffer? Where do our suffering come from?
From your behaviors.
Exactly. From our behavior.
The root cause. Yeah.
The root cause of life begins with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this lifetime, there are people, let's say a child is, let's say, it's easier to, if, in terms of the human law and the legal system, it's simple to think that, we're going to pay the price for the crime that we commit in this lifetime. But what about the people who experience negativity and they don't seem to have committed any wrongdoing? Let's say a baby is born with congenital defect and they have to suffer from it. How do you explain that? That is a negative outcome, right? It is a negative outcome. Where is the seed?
From the parents, maybe? Who knows?
No, not from the
From
parents.
the past life.
From the past life.
According to Buddha.
According to Buddhism. So this life, we all experience suffering, do we not? We have, at some point in life, we experience pleasure, we all experience negativity, we all experience undesired circumstances. Can it not be true that we are paying the price for our past action?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then this life is purgatory. And that's just a wonderful thing, because this is a perfect opportunity to receive all the bad you want to, all your sin you want to receive it in this lifetime, so that we can get a chance to wash the car and go straight to heaven. That's a beautiful.
I don't want to get my car dirty at the first place.
You don't want to get your car dirty in the first place, but we already are already receiving the outcome as a result of our past evil action.
Yeah, because
this life is purgatory. Okay, this life is purgatory. And when we go to confession and we are how do you say, repentant, and we offer it to God, what we're doing is we're activating the part of us that is the serenity, the peace part. Because if we don't, then we are resentful. We feel guilty. We are negative. The more negative we are, the more resentful, the more blaming that we have for ourselves, the longer it's going to take for us to free ourselves, and it's going to take longer for us to go up. So the process of contrition, the process of looking at ourselves, and the process of looking at all the evil things that we've done, my fault, or my grievous fault, is not necessarily a bad thing if you know how to use that as a process of transmuting negativity to serenity. not necessarily positive, serenity. With serenity, with inner peace, with the truth within ourselves, we can be free. Okay, but we would have to pay for it. Okay, bad things gonna come, and the only way that you can ever go up to heaven is to pay the price for all the things that we have done. And that is why in the Bible, at the end at the end of Jesus's life, when Jesus is on the cross, okay, he's about to die, and there are two criminals who were also crucified with Christ. One criminal challenged God, and he said, "If you are God, why don't you just step down and save yourself and save all of us?" Okay, that criminal, being punished for his crime, wasn't interested in being freed. He was interested in challenging the power of God. The other criminal, he said, "Wait, you and I, we are deserving. We deserve this punishment."
Mhm.
At that moment, he said, "We deserve this punishment. Jesus, please take me with you." At that moment, he has received the totality of the outcome of his causality. He recognized that he is receiving that punishment as a result of all the evil things that he's done in the past. Get that? And at that moment, Jesus said, "You will be with me in heaven." That is a very powerful story on causality, because cause and effect, we experience undesirable circumstances in this life as an outcome, as a final outcome, as whether it's punishment or reward for our past misdeed. And the moment that we recognize it as the way it is, we receive it, we welcome it, and causality ends right there. But if we don't accept it, we run away from the police. Okay, when the police they arrest us and we run away from the police, we accumulate more sin, we accumulate more negativity, we deposit more seed in our evil account, and first of all, we haven't paid for the first one. We haven't paid for the first crime. We're gonna continue. The police is gonna continue to pursue us. Undesirable circumstances will continue to come to us as long as we refuse to accept it. And if we avoid it, in the process of avoiding, let's say you're driving, right, and the police try to stop you, and instead of stopping, we run, and in the process of running, we may, pass the red light some more. We may hit other people. We create more sin. We can commit more crime. We create more negativity for other people, and so we continue to build more negativity in our bad fortune, the evil account, and so it never stops. The cycle of birth and rebirth never stops as long as a human being continue to refuse to accept the consequences of our action. Right? Whether we're Christian or Buddhist, it's the same thing. We will reap what we have sown, and we will not go to heaven until we have paid for all the sins that we have committed. Right? That's speaking in terms of Christianity, but it's the same thing with Buddhism. Okay, causality and the cycle of birth and rebirth, we are going to continue to experience suffering from life to life until we have paid in full. Okay, so let me see. Okay, ever heard of somebody winning a lottery? Right? You've heard of people winning a lottery. When a person is winning a lottery, which fortune account has been activated? The good fortune account, right? So whatever they've done in the past have contributed to other people's finances. It deposited some good energy in their good positive account, and they win the lottery. At the moment they receive the money from the lottery, what they've done is they have used up the credit in the good fortune account. If the person used up the credit in the good fortune account, what's going to happen? It's going to be depleted. If that person doesn't use that money and create more value for other people, it is possible that the evil account will now be bigger. And so they would start to experience negativity.
Mm-hmm.
They get robbed. They have relationship problem.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
So-
there was their life, you know, worse than before.
They take it worse. Yeah. Because they
Worse
don't
than before.
know they have used up a lot of credit in their good account and to win the lottery, and they are not using that money to create more value to with other people. They are not investing it in, when you invest, you actually, cause other people polarity to go up. Okay, in the resources, when you invest money, you put it into somebody else's account, their account goes up. That means we have contributed value to other account, or you can give it to charity or other ways. So if money is not being used to create value, it is essentially when you are using up money, you're receiving money, you're receiving luxury. When we are going out there and we're satisfying our desire for resources, appearance, right? We use money to improve our experience, buy expensive clothes, get a face lift or whatever. We become famous. We start buying expensive food. We go on expensive vacation. If we start to use up our good fortune is going to be depleted. And when our good fortune is depleted, what's remaining is a lot of bad fortune. Negativity is going to start to show up. Okay, that makes sense so far. Any question about that? So this philosophy is wonderful. It helps us manage our own life, manage our own positivity, manage our own good fortune.
Yeah, I want to say something.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, go ahead, T.
yeah, it's about good and evil, positivity and negativity. In my experience, before I am a negative person. I always worry about my future. Feel sad about my past. I think a lot, and I me down, and with everything happen in my life, I feel worry about that, and cry a lot. So one day I heard video, the life depend on you. If you choose positive, so you attract positive, and opposite. So I think again, yeah, I choose to be happy with any situation. I read the story and know that everything in life has two sides. If other sides are complicated, so opposites are simple. I believe that, and with any situation happen, I always find the way, that positive way to face with it, and yeah, until now, I feel peaceful inside myself, and I accept everything happen. I understand that that's a reason to come to my life, that teach me lessons or make me stronger. So I attract that I have positive thoughts, and yeah, all the things that our choosing, my choosing about positive or negative depend on me, myself. That's my experience about positive and negative. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Will.
Yeah, so there are two ways that we can raise the chance of favorable and desirable things that come into our life, simply by raising our own level of awareness, to become positive ourselves. And another way is to help other people to go positive. When we help other people become positive, we also eventually attract more positivity. The story about winning the lottery, a lot of people win the lottery, which means they use a lot of good fortune, right? Use a lot of credit from their good fortune account, and they end up having to change the name. They have to go and hide. They live in fear because the bad fortune account has been activated because they use up all of good fortune. Okay. Sharing that story is not to instill fear in people. We're trying to help us raise awareness so that we can understand positivity and negativity, and how every time we enjoy something, every time we enjoy something, when we eat a good food, or we just experience a compliment for another person, every time we experience something positive, it is us using up positive energy. Okay, so nothing is for free. Okay, nothing is for free. What the beauty of causality is, nothing is for free. Nobody give you anything for free because they want something in return. If they give you something for free and you enjoy the freedom, they have accumulated a positive energy in their account. If they give you enough free stuff, eventually you're going to go back and you're going to buy something from them. That's why people give you things for free. The good fortune that we experience today is a result of our accumulated positivity. It's a result of us having caused other people to be positive in the past. Okay? Positivity belongs to the person who cultivates it, both for ourselves and for other people. It cannot be inherited, okay, because it is generated through one's own action and energy. Okay, if you use up your positivity, you're going to have to know how to replenish it. Okay, but like I said, a person who wins the lottery uses up a lot of their positive energy. It accumulates in terms of money. But if they don't know how to use that money to create value for other people, the negative energy is going to activate, and they're going to start experiencing undesirable circumstances. They're going to have to live in fear of being robbed. People change their name and disappear. That's pretty terrible. So that is why I don't buy the lottery. I don't buy the lottery out of fear of winning. Seriously, I don't buy it because I do not want all the negativity that comes with it. Okay.
You mean I understand. When people won lottery, that is fortune, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he don't make the effort to get a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and they have don't have skills about managing money, and they feel fear and overwhelmed.
There you go.
And I know that after 3 years or 4 years, they turn back.
It goes right down. Yeah.
No money the
Yeah.
same. But their family destroy, their relationships destroy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is make more terrible than before.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So positivity, negativity, and intellectual merit, they share an interconnected qualities. They're not separate. They function like a series of lamps. You light one lamp, the next, then you can use the light to light the light to light another lamp, or the candle. So when somebody generates positivity by helping other people, bringing them joy, making them happy, and helping other people, also increase your own positivity. Okay. So here's a question. If somebody does something wrong to me and I feel extremely upset, okay, there's already negative. Somebody did a negative act and I feel extremely upset, I'm negative. If I don't respond, I continue to feel frustrated and negative. And but if I respond, if I let's say somebody insult me, I feel bad. But if I insult them back and I feel good, should I do it?
No. It's not nice.
I think about Buddhism.
Okay, go ahead. What do you think?
When people say bad or good to me, it's not mean everything every words they said come that come from me. I understand that come from them. That's from the people said that. And
Okay.
if I accept that words, I have in that word.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You have a comment, Marianne? You want to add to that?
Yeah, can I say something about lottery though? Like we study about the what do you say, the economy, like how to use the money from Master Hoàng Anh, right? That's her name. Yeah. So as long as you have a plan, right? As long as you know how to use your money correctly, then the money will come back more and more, right? So let's say if I win before I win the lottery, I was thinking, okay, I will sit down and, have a plan. I draw the map. Okay, if I win the lottery, I will do this, A, B, C, D, E, whatever. So as long as I have a plan, for the money, when I have the money, yeah, my life, like I use that money to create values for other people's, then money, then it's not going to affect my life, not going to affect my relationship. And I don't believe that it's going to delete my, good account, right? Because I use it, yeah, the money that I didn't, own, I didn't work hard for it, just, God gave it to me for a reason, right? Right? God gave it to me for a reason. So as long as I create the values out of that money, like, okay, here I give you the 10 coins. You go and make 10 more coins, right? So as long as I make 10 more, more coins, my boss will say, hey, good job, man. Go to heaven, right? Or go enjoy the, whatever. Is that the right?
That's great.
So I
That's
still
perfectly
believe
great. Yeah.
in winning lottery, even though I don't buy lottery.
Right.
That's
There's
why
two
you
important
deserve
points.
you
There's
deserve
two
to get
important-
a lot of money.
Yeah. So there are two important points that Marianne has just shared. Okay. Number one is to have plan for your money. Plan to create values for other people. Right? If you have $1 billion and you can break down the use of every single dollar and how that is going to create value for other people, then as soon as you have it, you're gonna do it and you're gonna accumulate point or credit into your good fortune account. But the other point where you say God just randomly give it to me, God is very fair. Okay, God doesn't treat anybody unfair over anybody. God is very, very fair. The reason we receive it more than other people because we have earned it, either in the past or in the past lifetime. We have, in terms of finance, we're going to talk in terms of finance, then the seed of positivity also relates to finance. In our past or in our past lifetime, we have created value for other people in terms of finance. And so now when the money comes, so now we have accumulated a lot of fortune account in terms of finance. It manifests in the form of money. God didn't just give us randomly because that would be unfair. God is very fair, right? There's an idea of, hang on. There's a word that I want to share with you guys.
So what is today's lesson?
Huh?
What is today's lesson? We go off track or something?
No, it's not. Today's lesson is about good and evil. Okay?
Good and
Good
evil.
and evil and how to
Today
create.
lesson we will get a lot of money
Today the lesson is about
and make
good
a
and evil
plan to
and how
spend
to
it.
use causality in order to create the life that we want.
Oh, I
Okay.
see. So we need to create value so we can deposit more um
Positive
good, yeah,
credit in our account. Yeah.
positivity account. Okay.
Okay. Anybody familiar with the word grace?
Mm-hmm.
Grace is blessing from us, from God.
From God. Right.
Okay. Grace is blessing from us and from God. And Christian believes that, you know, grace is not something that you can earn. Okay. God give all of us grace, infinite amount of grace. God
After your
spreads out, everybody gives everybody grace. God gives everybody blessing in equal amount. To hear the question, why are some people more fortunate than others? More fortunate.
Well, like you said the other day, you know, the rains in the forest fall equally on every trees, but
Exactly.
the trees that have bigger roots and bigger leaves will absorb
Exactly.
more rains.
That's it.
But that's just I mean, easy to say than to understand, right? So if I have a lot of negativity in my life, that means I don't have a bigger root. I don't have a bigger leaf.
Yeah. So it opens up to that idea of having bigger root will absorb more of God's grace, or bigger leaf will absorb more of God's light. It opens up a choice. Go back to the root cause of life begin with me, right? It opens up more choice. So that if we want to experience a more favorable and desirable life, then we can choose to be more open to God's grace. We can be more open to receiving more positivity. How? By helping other people. Take a look, consider the saints, right? We're talking about Christianity, so there are a lot of saints. Saint, on the one hand, we believe that they receive a lot of grace from God, right? They have a lot of faith. But at the same time, do the saint not cause other people to go positive? Massive amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Teresa, thousands and thousands and thousands of charitable organizations. So the saints are people who not only receive God's grace, but are able to distribute to other people. That's why in the Bible, there's stories about, you know, God giving each person a set amount of coin, and the person who can invest in those coins and make it grow, they are going to be the one who will enter the kingdom of God. So we all receive the same amount of, we all have, you know, the same amount of grace and blessings from God, but the people who receive it more are the people who actively share that with other people by creating value for other people. And how do we do that? Very simple. I think we mentioned this before, but that is a good, we will say it again by enacting the 7 great gifts of life. Okay, 7 great gifts of life. The whole causality thing, if it gets too complicated, right? It gets too complicated. What I do to other people, would that generate positive or negative? To simplify things, right? To have the life that we want, very simple. Give people the gift of appearance. In its simplest term, when you give somebody a gift of your appearance in terms of your smile, when you smile at somebody, does other people feel good? They feel good. You have caused them to go positive. If you go to a group and you dress nice, gift of appearance, do they feel good? Yeah, you look good, they feel good. Gift of appearance. If you arrange the room and put things in order, right? Remember the human construct, we have that appearance. Okay, see? So when you arrange your room, when you arrange your workplace, you give people the gift of appearance of your spatial surrounding. You cause other people to feel joy and pleasure. They get positive, you deposit a credit into our good fortune account, right? Little babies are very fortunate. You notice little baby, they receive love and care and attention all the time because they are very blessed and they are very fortunate because they give the gift of appearance. They just look cute and then we love them, right? Be like children, right? Number 2, the gift of seeing. Okay, gift of seeing. The way we look at another person. We can look at another person in a positive light. We choose to look at another person at the good in them. The root cause of life begins with me. It is our mental images of another person that will directly determine our choices, which will directly determine our outcome in life. So when we give another person a gift of our seeing, we see them as a good person, as a whole and perfect and complete person. There's nothing wrong with them. Then our choices, the way we interact with another person, the way we talk, and the way we speak to another person, it's going to be positive. And when we are positive to them, they are positive, we deposit a positive seed in our good fortune account. The gift of seeing. Okay. Number 3, the gift of speech. Okay, our words. We have the choice of what we can say to another person. ECH. Okay, speech, gift of speech. When we speak to another person with positivity, we cause them to go positive. Even if somebody is very negative, we can choose our speech. The power of choice. That's why the root cause of life is such a wonderful references system, because the root cause of life begins with me and I can choose my speech. Remember, we said that mental images is made up of what we see, what we hear, what we say, and what we know, right? We can monitor what we see and what we hear. That has to do with mental images, but we can change what we say. The gift of speech. This is how we can turn our life around. We take ownership of our circumstances, say positive, kind words to other people. Number 4, nhan nhãn ngôn tâm, the gift of heart. The heart of what? The heart of gratitude. Okay. So we will learn about the power of gratitude in the wisdom section. Gift of gratitude, heart of gratitude. Be appreciative. When other person appreciates us, do we not feel very positive? Yeah, we're pretty happy and positive, right? So we can give other people the gift of our gratitude. Be grateful for everything. A person could do many, undesirable things to us, but even then we can be grateful for the lesson. One moment. Okay. Con muốn chơi thì con học đại trước rồi con chơi. Okay. So a gift of heart, a gift of gratitude. Nhan nhãn ngôn tâm phẩm. Okay. Number 5, gift of spirit. What kind of spirit? Great spirit. So this is magnanimity. Okay, we will learn about this in the wisdom section as well. Be magnanimous with people. Be generous with our spirit. And give up spirit. Which is number 5. Number 6, the gift of our body, meaning action, kind action, okay? Help people. Just help people. If we help people with gratitude and magnanimity, then I guarantee you, then the total sum of our action is going to be more positive. Yes, there are some unintentional things, right? Sometimes we mean to be good, but we unintentionally cause other people to suffer. Just like our children, our give of action, sometimes we would discipline our children out of love. But with gratitude and magnanimity to protect that, then our action is going to be aligned with positivity. And then we will get the desired result. And the last one, number 7, the gift of position. Okay, so position or status in life, if we're rich, help other people be rich. A man comes to Jesus and says, hey, Jesus, how can I go to heaven? Jesus said, give away all your money. And the man was sad because he didn't want to give away his position, status of being rich. If we have wisdom, we have understanding, we understand the root cause of life. We understand the human construct. We understand good and evil. We understand how the 7 great gifts of life can improve someone's life. Give it to them. Give them our position. If we have a happy marriage, help other people experience a life of happy marriage. If we have great health, help other people become healthy, the gift of position. Okay. It's going to go back to the point about the when somebody does something negative to us, we feel negative. Is it okay to retaliate and insult them back to make us feel better? The thing is, that's called revenge. And have you ever watched a revenge movie where one person would do something and then you would take revenge? And by taking revenge, what you've done is we have caused another person to go negative. We have planted a negative seed in our bad fortune account. And so that other person is going to take revenge back on us. So it's a cycle of revenge, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. Shakespeare has a story of Romeo and Juliet, 2 families always taking revenge on each other. Okay. And it doesn't help anybody. Instantaneously may make us feel a little bit better because we have lower other people's energy point. We're negative, we want other people negative, so we feel a little bit better, but we have deposited a negativity credit in our bad fortune account, and so we're going to continue to receive negativity. Other people is going to want to take revenge back, and then so it's a cycle of revenge. On the other hand, if somebody, let's say we experience somebody who's suffering, okay, let's say we experience somebody who's suffering, let's say a poor person, we see a poor person and we want to help them, right? 7 great gifts, we want to help them. We want to give them money or something like that. However, it is possible that by helping other people, we may temporarily raise their energy, help them feel good for a short amount of time, but in the long run, we could also unintentionally hurt them. If we do not understand wisdom, if we do not cause them to have an expanded awareness about their life. A beggar, for instance, is always going to be dependent on begging money. But as soon as you give a beggar some money, right, when they receive money from you, is it not the case that they are using some credit from the good fortune account? It's an important part. When you look at somebody who's poor, first of all, they're poor because they have very little credit in their fortune account, right? They're unfortunate. They're poor because they're unfortunate. And you give them money so they feel a little bit better. But that act of giving somebody money equates to them using credit from their fortune account. So yes, temporarily they may feel a little bit better, but they are depleting even more of the fortune account. And eventually they will have nothing left. So we have to be a little wise and experience, have a little bit clarity when it comes to helping people, because helping people may instantaneous in that moment help them feel better, but that means they are using up their credit in the good fortune. You're taking away their fortune when you are helping other people. So in order to help other people, you have to not only help them on a physical, tangible way, we also help them raise awareness so that they can be able to help themselves. Okay. Let me check my note. Okay. So, okay, so the 7 gifts. Let's move on to the other one, the intellectual merit. So, when the fortune account, the good and evil, it has specificity with it. When we experience positivity in finance, that is because in the past we have accumulated positivity in terms of finance. We have helped other people in their financial situation. When we experience good health, it is because we have deposited credit into our good fortune with respect to health. That is why somebody can have a lot of good fortune in health and have a lot of bad fortune in finance. Some people could have a lot of bad fortune in finance and yet have great fortune in marriage relationship. So each of those aspects of life have their own set of fortune account. Okay. Okay. Let's see. The idea of good fortune and bad fortune is like it has a threshold. Sometimes it doesn't manifest right away. But think of it as a cup of water. You just drip, drip, drip little drops of water, and nothing will happen until the last drop of water drops onto the cup and it overflows. And that overflowing will wet the surrounding area. It basically causes a person to change his or her life. Another analogy is the snowflake. One tiny snowflake is very light, but snowflake just drops on top of the mountain, snow, 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 and eventually the final snowflake will make it so heavy that the entire mountain will collapse in the form of an avalanche. So it's possible that we may go through life and we do a lot of positivity and we may never experience it, but eventually, if and when it does, it will happen like an avalanche. Does that make sense? Same with negativity. A dictator could go through their life creating a lot of negativity for other people and they don't feel any immediate consequence. Causality, it takes a while for that seed to grow, that negative seed to grow, and at some point, the dictator will be overthrown or deposed. Or if they don't get deposed, then they have to live in a state of fear all the time. So that's the idea of a tipping point, right? The final snowflake that will cause an avalanche, or the final drop of water that will overflow a cup. Has anybody experienced something like that? When you suddenly just, things just change around for the better or for the worse. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna check my notes. So you want to avoid action that deplete your positivity unnecessary. Okay. You want to focus on building positivity consistently. Understand that the ability to generate positivity is important. Generate wealth is important, but maintaining and growing that wealth is equally crucial, right? Wise people will emphasize that earning money is a skill, but retaining and using it wisely is what ensures lasting fortune. Okay, anybody could earn money, you could win a lottery, but using that money in a way that maintain peace of mind, that's require wisdom and knowledge. So you can protect that positivity by practicing self-awareness and discernment in our action. Okay, so now let's talk about intellectual merit. So this is where wisdom, this is where discernment and self-awareness comes in. Knowing how to save money and know how to protect yourself is important in sustaining our own personal growth. Similarly, when we accumulate positivity by helping other people, we also need to learn how to preserve it. Without protection, our effort might be wasted. Building a house takes time, but destroying it happens very quickly as well. Okay, so intellectual merit. The definition of intellectual merit is a type of energy that corresponds to this light within us. We draw this with a circle of yellow light, sort of golden halo, because in most religion, whether you're in Christianity or in Buddhism, or most religion show a holy person as having surrounded by light. It's called a halo of light, like a little angel with a little halo on the head. Buddhism, they also believe that a human being, the truth within ourselves, our true nature is surrounded by light. That light is the light of enlightenment, the light of truth. It corresponds to high level of energy, super ultra high level of energy, beyond positive, beyond negative. It is highly balanced and it is very high in vibration. And it is cultivated by helping other people expand their awareness, raise their level of wisdom and inner understanding. So when we can actively help other people experience a certain transformation, a certain realization. Let's say a person comes to us with a sad story, and instead of being pulled down, being trapped by their sad story, we can cause them to experience a shift in perspective so that they now stand above their problem. Then we have accumulated credit in our intellectual merit account. Okay. With more intellectual merit, we are able to maintain the positivity that is deep within us. It is accumulated by helping other people elevate their awareness and intellectual growth. In the Buddhist perspective, it helps other people experience enlightenment. And it is stored within this shell of our true nature. Remember, where it's good and evil is stored within the shell of ego personality, the mind, the analytical mind, the ego personality, good or positive. But intellectual merit is stored within this shell of the truth within us. The difference between good and evil versus intellectual merit, it's like this. Positivity or goodness is like a mountain of money, mountain of cash. Okay, you can accumulate it very quickly, build a lot of cash very quickly, but a single match can destroy the whole mountain of cash. Right? Positivity is like that. You can help people feel very good, but you see, let's say celebrity, right? Celebrity, sports, athlete, famous people cause other people to feel very good. Actors, they do a movie, they act in a movie, and people experience that movie, they feel good, they become very famous. They have accumulated a lot of good fortune. They help by helping other people. However, a single scandal will burn that entire fortune away. Do you notice that? Not a celebrity, a single scandal would They would lose their fame just by single scandal, regardless of how many great movies they have done, how happy they have made people in the past. A single match will destroy the entire mountain of money. Whereas positivity will accumulate easily but burn quickly. Intellectual merit takes a little longer. It's like a mountain of gold. Mountain of gold takes longer to accumulate. It is easy to be tarnished. It's easy to get dusty, and gold, if you don't polish it, it gets dusty, it gets covered up. But it's hard to actually lose. It's easy to get tarnished. Same thing with intellectual merit, our wisdom. Once we accumulate it, it's not, you can't lose it. But it's easy to be diluted. Okay, it's easy to be diluted if we do not maintain the light of wisdom. So intellectual merit offers a sturdier foundation, but that also requires protection from negative influence that could diminish its radiance. So this understanding underscores the importance of cultivating and safeguarding both types of virtue, both the positivity and the goodness, as well as the virtue of intellectual merit. So because the ego personality and the true nature are different, the intellectual merit also different from the positivity inside the goodness account. When the block of intellectual merit is activated, it helps us become wiser. It helps us expand our understanding and our awareness about life, about causality, about the principles. And it can help us navigate life. It can help us manage the ego personality. However, the activation of intellectual merit does not necessarily lead to desirable external circumstances right away. A wise person doesn't necessarily experience material wealth. Just because we have expanded our knowledge and wisdom doesn't necessarily mean we're going to attract financial wealth right away. What it does is unlock wisdom and intellectual clarity. And with that, we can navigate the ego personality. We can navigate the good and evil fortune more effectively. And then from there, we can attract positivity in our life. So the hallmark of intellectual merit's influence is a deep opening of the mind and the elevation of understanding. With that elevation of understanding, we can better manage our own life. But opening our own mind doesn't immediately attract positive fortune. Does that make sense? So don't expect to get rich just because you have studied the inner being. We have to use that knowledge. We have to use that clarity and wisdom and better manage our personality, our ego, so that we can attract positivity. Okay, so the difference between positivity and intellectual merit is crucial. Okay, positivity brings desirable life circumstances when it is activated. Intellectual merit, on the other hand, when activated, lead to intellectual enlightenment and a profounding opening of the mind. And with that, you can activate, you can manage your other aspects. And in order to do that, in order to expand your own mind, we have to help other people raise their level of awareness as well. That's what I'm doing. Okay. That is part of the gift of position. So if you have an understanding that most people don't have with respect to causality, with respect to principles and natural laws, with the root cause of life, with the human construct, then share that with other people, raise their own awareness so that you can understand it better, right? So accumulating intellectual merit enables individuals to open their mind to wisdom. This clarity allows them to perceive the truth within themselves and experience the expansive space of inner stillness, serenity, inner peace. Okay, with intellectual merit, we can better or more simply experience inner peace. We'll learn about that later in the wisdom section. If you've ever felt the presence of this inner stillness or the truth within, it is likely due to the intellectual merit being activated in you. Okay. Some people are easily, more simply experience inner peace and clarity because they have accumulated through many lifetimes. For those of you who haven't yet experienced this inner peace and clarity, it's okay. Okay, with time and effort in building intellectual merit by studying the kind of philosophy of root education that we're sharing here, and by sharing with other people, this realization will eventually emerge, okay, naturally. Helping others find joy, build positivity. Helping others raise their awareness and intellect to the level 3, we'll talk about level 3 wisdom later, that will build intellectual merit. Engaging in both action will foster both types of virtue, okay, both in positivity as well as in intellectual merit. So one way to accumulate intellectual merit, if we haven't, have the skill to share that, is to invite other people. You can indirectly accumulate intellectual merit by sharing this sort of teaching with other people. Invite other people to join the class. Share the link to the inner being teachings. So by indirectly or directly causing other people to expand their awareness, to experience new realization about life, we ourselves will accumulate intellectual merit, and we can more simply experience inner peace as well. Does that make sense? That part? Yeah. So it is direct or indirect accumulation of intellectual merit, okay, and positivity if you're trying to help other people. So okay, so joy and pleasure that is associated with positivity, that comes from helping other people. But that sense of positivity also momentary. It tends to be not very long lasting. Like, joy, it not always there. While that is valuable, this type of joy that is resulted from pleasure, it's relatively short-lived. Okay, because we can't be positive all the time. We have too much positive, we'll swing back to negative. In contrast, when you help other people elevate their awareness and transform their belief, their realization about life, improve their life fundamentally, okay, that will bring about a profound sense of fulfillment. And that is more lasting joy. This deeper joy is longer lasting, and it contributes significantly to the accumulation of intellectual merit. So you can reflect on the joy you feel when you learn something impactful, apply to your life, and witness the positive changes. This type of joy that is rooted in enlightenment and transformation is a testament to the power of intellectual merit. By helping others achieving similar breakthrough, you contribute to their journey and further enrich your own virtue. So once again, positivity helps others find simple joy. It builds positivity. The more sustained and meaningful the joy you inspire in other people, the more positivity you accumulate and more desirable circumstances that you receive in life. Intellectual merit, on the other hand, is helping other people elevate their understanding, causing other people to experience an enlightenment and transformation. And it will lead to us experiencing and understanding more about ourselves and about life. Positivity is the mountain of money, can burn quickly with a single match. Intellectual merit is like a mountain of gold, difficult to destroy, but susceptible to tarnish. Intellectual merit endures over time, and it opens the path to wisdom. Okay, so the matches that burn the mountain. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about negativity. But it's important to recognize it so that we don't unintentionally tarnish our mountain of gold or burn our mountain of cash. Okay, there are several matches, 4 matches that will burn the positivity: blame, resentment, and blame. Blame is a significant destroyer of positivity. Right? Do you notice that? You may be happy and somebody blame you, boom, instantly your positivity go away. It is said that women are particularly prone to losing positivity through blame. It is very simple and easy for women to blame. It's sort of part of their nature. Okay, and you can reflect to see if this is true or not. Not all women are like that, but it is said that women tend to be prone to losing positivity through blame. Men, on the other hand, while less inclined to blame, if and when they blame, they lose positivity much more quickly. So women tend to go through the day just blaming people on small things, blaming the husband on the little things. So they're constantly losing positivity, very easily losing positivity. Men, on the other hand, doesn't blame, but when they do, that means they have already gone really negative, and so they will lose the energy of positivity very quickly and a lot. When a man starts to blame, you will start to notice that their lives is gonna come crumbling down pretty quickly. Take the President of the United States. President of the United States was successful, became a president, and then he started to blame other people for the problems of America, for the problem of his, he instead of taking responsibility for the outcome of his life, he blamed other people. And in a very short time, he goes down. He loses all his fortune, financially, and as well as his opportunity to become president. It is only when he has to go back and rebuild his good fortune, he stopped blaming, or at least decreases and find other ways to create positive, that he's able to regain his status as a president. Right? So blaming, so pay attention to that. One easy way to destroy your entire mountain of fortune is to blame. Okay? So, if somebody displeases us and we immediately blame them, that act introduces negativity energy in the relationship, leading to potential issue, okay, with our spouse, our children. So, isn't it true that when we are enjoying some desirable outcome, and a single act of blame can diminish the completeness of the joy, right? So positivity diminishes with blame, leading to undesirable event. So blame is a key factor in losing positivity. So watch for that. So how do you prevent blaming? You want to replace blaming with gratitude. Okay, so we are trying, instead of blaming, we want to work on being grateful. Instead of indulging in blame, just instead focus on amplifying the energy of gratitude and appreciation. By cultivating these positive energies, blame will naturally be covered up by light. Okay, so when gratitude, which is proven to be something of very high positive energy, is taking hold of your life, then there's no room for blame. Okay, so the second factor that is going to impact our positivity, a second match that easily will burn up that mountain of fortune, is arrogance. Arrogance in men are prone to losing positivity due to arrogance. Men that tend to be pretty prideful. It is simple for men to be very prideful, and they're constantly losing good fortune every day by being prideful, by being arrogant. Men are generally more positive in terms of energy. We're talking about the Eastern understanding of positive and negative. Men tend to be a little bit more positive. Women tend to be a little negative. There's not saying that it's good or bad. It's just positive or negative polarity. So men tend to manifest as positive arrogance. And when they they can view minor accomplishment as significant achievement, right? Leading to believe that their success is solely their own doing. That sense of arrogance will result in a loss of positive energy in the good fortune. Women, on the other hand, while men lose positivity easily due to arrogance, women lose it much more quickly when they are arrogant. Women are generally more negative in the positive and negative, not good or bad, it's just more negative. And if they are blaming, that means they go even more negative. That means they're going to lose their fortune even much more quickly. So if you notice, we are living in an era where women are becoming more and more successful, right, out there in the world, right? Women are becoming leaders. Women are making a fortune. But if a woman expresses herself in the extreme arrogance, you will find that she will encounter more trouble than men do, right? So the way the society and the world works nowadays, men who become successful can be very arrogant about it, and people will be okay with it. That seems to be the way our society is accepting the arrogance in successful men. But the woman, if she becomes successful and she is arrogant, she's going to lose that fortune. She's going to lose those opportunities much more quickly. So these are the differences between the men and women when it comes to pride and arrogance. So you want to be watchful for that, be a little wise about that. Okay. So how do you protect against losing the positive energy against arrogance? You want to cultivate humility and modesty. You want to replace blame and arrogance with gratitude and appreciation. You want to replace arrogance with humility and modesty. We recognize and value the contribution from others. Avoid the mindset that the achievement are solely personal accomplishment. Okay, we think that we are here today, we become successful because we have our own talent and ability. That is going to let us fall into the trap of arrogance. By recognizing that every success that we have achieved today, it is a result of other people's contribution. We could become promoted as a leader. But in order to become a leader, other people have had to contribute to us becoming successful. Yes, Marianne, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to know, you go a little bit over time.
Oh, okay.
Because I have another Zoom class.
Okay. I think that's I think that's about the end already. Yeah, you can go ahead and log out. I'll just I'll send you I'll send the recording. Okay, I'll send the recording.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just a few more. So we talk about arrogance.
What did you write down though? Today you didn't write down much.
I didn't write down much.
But, blaming and arrogant. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will write down. Let's see.
All right. Thank you, Frank. We'll see you.
Alrighty, we'll see you next week, Marianne.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. So
Thank
four
you.
matches.
Thank you so much.
So 4 matches. That burn positive fortunes. Okay, so one of them is blame. Okay, and you want to replace with gratitude. Okay, the second one is what did I say? Arrogance. Yeah, arrogance, which is an extreme form of pride. Okay, you want to replace that with humility. This is how you protect yourself. Protect the good fortune. Ensure that desirable circumstances will come into your life and not lose whatever benefit or good outcome that we've experienced. Okay, next one. Anger. Okay, anger, right? Easy to lose a fortune when you get angry. That's simple to understand, right? All of us have experienced, we're in a healthy relationship, and instantly when we become angry, we start doing very bad things, and we lose our relationship with people when we become angry. Okay. So to replace anger, to protect ourselves against anger, we learn to be magnanimous with people. Magnanimity. Okay, magnanimity. Okay. Number 4 is adultery. Adultery. Okay, adultery is meaning you are. It's not about sexuality. Adultery has to do with being unfaithful in a marriage relationship. And it is with adultery, it is a socially specific morality. Different culture will define adultery differently. Some culture, can you read that? ADU. Okay. Some culture only allow one man to marry to one woman. It is a monogamous relationship. If a man or a woman is unfaithful in that relationship, he or she will cause the spouse to go negative, and you will lose your fortune. In the United States, 50% of all marriages end up in divorce, and when you get divorced, you lose half your fortune. Exactly half your fortune. Adultery is very easy to lose your fortune. In some culture, however, it's okay for one person to be in a relationship with multiple people, and it's okay. It is a cultural specific. In some culture, prostitution is a legal profession. I think in Germany, I could be wrong. But in some country, to be a prostitute is not an evil thing. It is a profession that the government will allow and protect. And the prostitute will pay tax like every other worker. So with adultery, it is a cultural specific. So you have to be sensitive to your own culture. You can't take one culture's standard and apply it to another culture. Okay, so with adultery, you have to be pretty smart about it. Okay, let's see what else. So you be oh yeah. So with adultery, you have to understand you protect yourself against all the three adultery by understanding morality. Okay, morality of that given culture. Another so there are more than 4 matches. And number 5. So this is called abstinence. Okay, so it's going to be 5 matches. Abstinence. Abstinence meaning holding on to your own perspective, your own judgment, and not allowing other people's ideas and judgment to influence you. Okay. This abstinence, oh, actually, I know why it's okay, hang on. Sorry. Okay. So these above 4 matches burn the mountain of positive fortune. Okay, so this one, abstinence, will tarnish your intellectual merit because it has to do with wisdom. Right? Holding on to rigid, dogmatic belief without understanding can, metaphorically, blacken the gold. That is your intellectual merit. A person who is very judgmental and refuses to accept other people's opinion is not going to be open to new ideas. Right? And if you're not open to new ideas, you're not opening to raising and expanding your awareness, you're not going to learn anything. So we will accumulate no credit in our intellectual merit account. Okay? So be open-minded. That's all. Okay? Be open-minded. Be open to learning. Okay? Constantly reflect our own ourselves. Look at our own inner being. And always work on improving our learning. Applying the principle of brain activation. Remember, at the end of every lecture or discussion, we always reflect on what lesson we have learned, anything important that has impressed us, and if we've experienced any realization or enlightenment as a result of the lesson that we've learned. Right? Because abstinence, if we are very rigid in our views, being overly stubborn or fixated on certain ways of thinking or doing, we can be open-minded. We can elevate our wisdom and expand our understanding. When our wisdom reaches level 3, we can really transcend a lot of rigid views and avoid being confined by them. By now, you should have a good understanding of the 3 types of energy: spiritual and ethical energy, intellectual merit, goodness, evil, positivity, negativity. Things like excessive worries and concern, especially for our children, our parents, and others, often stem from love and concern. However, if taken to extreme, it can, such as overthinking or constantly worrying, and or prolonged sadness, it can generate a lot of negative energy that can harm other people around us. So when we love our family member, stay positive. Don't let that love turn to worry or anxiety, because that love, worry, or anxiety will generate negativity and would actually hurt other people around us. Okay. So setting, life's direction. Life's abundant in positivity in general will lead to desirable circumstances. Life rich in intellectual merit opens the door to wisdom and enlightenment. Therefore, a meaningful life involves actively cultivating both types of virtues: positivity for smooth and fulfilling life, and intellectual merit for mental clarity and wisdom. Okay, so key action that we can embrace is to cultivate positivity, engage in good deeds, kindness, generosity, do the 7 great gifts of life, create harmony and desirable circumstances for other people and for ourselves. And we want to foster intellectual merit by helping other people understand and raise their awareness about themselves, about the nature of life, which in turn deepen our own wisdom. Okay, so by focusing on this goal, our mental state will be at peace, our lives will flow smoothly, and our wisdom will continue to grow. In the next session, we're going to dive into how these polarity, the positive and negative polarity, influences in even more ways. We'll explore how to regulate and apply them to make life more desirable and harmonious. Okay. So today, to wrap it up, we're talking about positivity and negativity. We're talking about intellectual merit. Positivity corresponds to positive polarity energy wrapped inside our ego personality, our mind. Intellectual merit corresponds to our balance, not positive or negative. Or intellectual merit has no polarity. Intellectual merit has to do with the truth within us. It is represented by a halo of light. Okay. It is accumulated when we help other people elevate their inner awareness, especially if we can reach them, help them reach level 3 awareness. We will talk about that later. So if this knowledge seems hard to remember, understand, it's quite simple. Just keep listening and reflecting. Over time, it will become clear. Okay. For now, the key takeaway is this: cultivate positivity and intellectual merit will lead to a good and fulfilling life. Helping other people cultivate this virtue is the simplest and most effective way to support humanity. Okay, any questions so far? Any impressions so far before we say goodnight for today? Once again, I'm very appreciative of you guys for taking the time to listen, to learn, to share. By sharing with you, I have learned a lot myself. I've experienced a lot of positivity for myself. I've learned how to stop negativity. I've learned to take things as they come, experience the certain truth. And yeah, I want to experience more of that. So that's why I'm sharing with you guys. Thank you, Ji Lam Lam. Did you learn anything today? Anything impress you? Any new realization?
Yeah, yeah, after your lesson, I feel that if we live with the positive attitude, we learn more and more things we want. Yeah. And I just wondered about the 7 great gifts of life. If we have a not nice appearance, should we change this to make it more beautiful, and then we get more things.
The simplest part of your appearance is your smile.
Mhm,
Don't
yeah, just
worry
smile.
about changing anything else.
Uh-huh.
If you work on a great smile
Yeah.
and smile from deep within you, smile from your heart, then that is the greatest gift that you can give to anybody.
Yeah, just simple like that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't worry
Yeah.
about your physical appearance. Don't worry about your clothing. That's,
Mhm.
if you are fortunate enough to have the money to buy the clothes, if you are fortunate to have the physical, the physique, the physical look,
Yeah.
then that's fine. That's great. But your smile,
Yeah.
that's all you gotta do. Yeah. Don't worry too much
Yeah.
about the other stuff.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. Thank
Smile from
you.
the bottom of your heart. Okay, the next time you smile, and I had to practice this myself. It didn't come naturally. I never smiled like this before. I had to practice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to, when we take a picture on the camera, people would take picture. I didn't know how to smile. I had to practice smiling, and you want to smile from deep within yourself. See if you can smile from your heart, not just your face. Smile with your whole body. Yeah.
Yeah, understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Little babies do that. They're little newborn baby. They just smile and you love them. So think of them that way. They don't worry, they don't think about anything. They just, when they're happy, they just smile. People
It's
smile.
not easy. It's not easy to become children because we are dumb. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a saying, okay? So
Mhm.
people smile because they're happy. What you want to do is you smile in order to be happy.
Yeah.
Consider that one.
Mm.
It's from a scientific perspective, from a scientific research, it is has been proven that if you smile, even when you're sad, okay, you're right now sad, and you smile, the act of smiling will generate positive chemicals inside our brain and our body so that we will actually feel better.
Yeah.
So smiling transform ourselves and other people just by smiling. So just practice smiling. Is that your picture? Because that's a beautiful picture, a beautiful smile there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
I like
already,
it. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
already have the gift of appearance. You already have the gift of smile.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you so much.
alrighty. Any other question? Any other realization or lessons? How do you think you are going to be able to apply these other gifts to other people? The gift of seeing, have you been able to do any of that? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Give a speech.
you talk about gift of seeing.
Mm-hmm. Have you been able to change the way you see anybody else? Have you able to create any new mental images about other people? That's a gift of seeing.
This side I don't feel much.
Okay, that's fine. You can practice that. So think about a think about a close family member.
Được rồi, báo chiều đem cả
Okay.
quần áo đi nhá.
Think about a
Yeah.
close family member.
Đem
What
cả
are
quần
five
áo đi rồi
words that
xuống
you can think
đi
of
xe buýt xuống đi rồi tôi
that comes up? Pick a family member. Is it a husband or a child or somebody? Think of 5 words. Pick one right now. Is it your husband or is it your children? Or maybe your friend?
nổi thì tôi luôn.
So how can I do practice this?
Yeah, let's practice right now. Pick one person. Let me know who that is. Who do you want to, who are you thinking of right now? One person.
Okay, so one of my friend.
Okay, one of your friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
5 words that come up to your mind when you think about that friend. 5 words. What's the first?
Kind.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's another word?
Gentle. Yes. Gentle. Active.
Active.
Đi
Okay.
luôn.
Yeah. Crazy.
Pretty. Okay.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, pretty and crazy.
Pretty and crazy. Okay.
Yeah. And so what was talk about the person he's always think about something is not real.
Luôn sống mùi á.
That she always think about that very many things that but it's not real. A dream is not real. It's not reality.
So she think about many things that's not real.
Yeah.
Okay.
And bảo thủ cố chấp.
She's obstinate. Okay, so
Obstinate,
the
yeah.
word that we use is obstinate. Okay. Obstinate. There we go.
Obstinate.
Obstinate.
Yeah.
Okay. So
abstinence.
Right. So the mental images, the way you're seeing your friend is that there's some good stuff, right? She's kind, she's pretty, but there are also some negative images that you see. You see that person as being obstinate, you see that person as being crazy. Those are negative words, right?
Yeah.
And because you see that person is obstinate, how do you behave with her or him?
just when I say that, I talk. Yeah, I talk to her, but she doesn't accept my idea, so I quit. I don't talk anymore.
And how do you feel when that happened?
At that time, I feel unpleasant. And then I think that he has her he has her thinking, and he has her way, so he can she can does she can does that thing that's the way she chose, and I let her do that, and I don't care, and I ignore her.
Okay. Is that a
Yeah.
positive or negative feeling?
I think both.
Okay.
It's make me feel easier to accept her, but when if he doesn't, if he do that wrong, when I see that her option is wrong, and the result is wrong too, and I don't be present. I am not be present. That's both feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way you see that person, that friend is obstinate, and so you have a certain feeling associated.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to transform your relationship with that person, you can change the way you see that person. See for the next week, see if you can practice seeing them as open-minded. The root cause begin with me. The root cause begin with you. See if you can change the way you see that person as being open-minded. The next time you talk to that person, just come with that person with an always seeing and hearing that person, oh, this person is an open-minded person, and see if your conversation has any new energy. Okay, change that. See if you can change that. And
yeah, I think I have done that. I don't hate, I don't dislike her.
Okay.
The first I have feeling that, but then when I became when I keep calm, I see that she is I dislike her. I just she is đáng thương.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a
Wow.
positive or
And
negative? Đáng thương, that is pity. You're feeling sorry that for the other person. Is that a positive or negative emotion?
I think it's positive, right?
Think it's positive?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, maybe not. Okay, well, anyway, just take some time to kind of reflect on the lesson and see if you can consciously, proactively shift the way you see another person. When you say there's đáng thương, would mean that that person is worthy of pity. That's not necessarily a positive thing. Meaning you think that person needs help. There's something wrong with them, right?
Yeah.
See if we can shift that way of seeing. And now we're talking about speech now. You just said, using a speech, that you have said that person is worthy of pity, meaning they need help. There's something wrong with them. There's obstinate. All of that sounds kind of negative to me. See if you can practice the gift of seeing and change the way you look at that person. Focus on the positive instead of the negative. See if you can change the way you talk about another person. And then practice being grateful for everything, being generous and magnanimous. And if there's any action that is appropriate, maybe there's no need for any action. And from then, eventually, it is possible that your friend will listen to you more if you see her or him in a more positive light. If you speak about it in your head about another person in a more positive way, if you express gratitude to that other person more often, be more accepting and magnanimous, then you may open them up for new ideas. Were you here when we talked about the circle of the knowledge? Remember the circle of knowledge? The different circle? I know what I know, the circle that I know that I don't know, and then I don't know that I don't know. When we
Thôi,
speak to another person, we only speak from our own knowledge. But if we speak from our own knowledge, then they will not understand. In order to get another person to understand, we have to speak from their own circle of knowledge. We use what they know, expand what they know, and then share what we know. Okay, you can review review the lessons on that. I don't know which I think that's like
Yeah, I
3 or
remember.
4.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Go back to that one. Okay.
Mm,
If we speak from our own knowledge, people will not understand.
mm,
But if we speak from another person's knowledge, then we can help them better understand. So a person
Yeah.
is never obstinate. Nobody is ever obstinate. It is only the case that we fail to speak from their own circle of knowledge. Did you get that? If we see
Yeah.
another person is obstinate, then we've already closed the door. We can't tell them anything. All we know is what we know, and they know what they know, and that will never match. But if we see another person as potentially open-minded, all we have to do is learn to listen and speak from their knowledge. We're speaking the same language as another person, then they will listen.
Yeah.
Did you get any of that?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you get that one. Okay, I hope
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a transformation right there. Nobody is
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
obstinate. It is only our inability to understand them and speak from their knowledge that is
Mhm.
preventing us from getting our idea across. So everybody is potentially open-minded. We just have to learn to speak the right language.
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now I'm clear. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow, yeah. Yes, yes,
Okay.
I will try. I will try to practice this to do
Okay. Yeah.
this.
Nobody. All righty.
It's not
Thank you
easy.
so
I
much.
think that, but I will
Huh?
try. It's not easy. It's not easy to do that. I think that the yes, I will try.
Mhm.
Mm,
It's not the case of easy or hard. Okay, so it's not the case of easy or hard. We think of it as easy or hard because our mind likes to think of it easy or hard. But in any endeavor, in anything that we try to do, one way to get a rise above the easy or hard is to practice the 6 golden words in action. Okay. Now, 1,
yeah.
do it simply. Don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. Number
Okay.
2, do it lightly. When you talk to your friend, don't make it too hard. Just do it lightly.
Mm,
Do it trustingly. Trust in the philosophy. Okay. Trust in causality. Trust in the circle of knowledge. It is a principle. Do it regularly. If you say something And for the first time, and people don't find other ways to repeat it.
Yeah.
Do it wholeheartedly. Okay. Do it with love. Okay. This is a gift of your heart. Remember, this is a gift of heart. Okay. Gift of heart. Do it wholeheartedly.
Tao về luộc cái đậu con đi nha. Cái kia hết nồi.
Um,
Hết nồi,
đơn
hết
giản
nồi,
nhẹ
hết nồi.
nhàng, tin tưởng. Oh yeah, there's another one. Do it joyfully.
Vâng.
Okay. Do it joyfully. Smile. Gift of appearance. See, so practice those things and it'll be easier. It won't be easy or hard. It's just simple. And you will stand above the ideas of hard or easy. Things are just simple. Things, do it lightly, do it trustingly, do it regularly, do it heartily, wholeheartedly, and do it joyfully. That's how we can influence and change other people without influencing and changing other people, because the people have no problem. There's no need to change them.
Wow. Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Jihad, do you have any thing to say before we say goodbye? Did you learn anything? Okay, alrighty then. Once again, very grateful all of you guys. Happy New Year. I hope this has been a gift to you, and I hope you take it and practice it and share it back with other people, to share it forward to other people and share it back to this group next week. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Take care.
Oh, I said
Huh?
cook lunch, so it's busy. Mr. Frank,
Yeah.
I confused about the word we are no one. We are no one to become
Mhm.
anyone.
Uh-huh.
I confused about that word.
You need a
But,
clarification on that? You need a reminder what that means?
yeah, that means
Okay. Okay, hang on. That is a that comes from the root cause of life formula. Okay. So let's start with like this. Okay, remember, what is this I'm holding up in the share screen? What is this I'm holding up? What is this I'm holding up? Look at the share screen. What am I holding? Can you see it? Look at the share screen. Can you see the share
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
Okay, what am I holding?
The marker.
your pen.
Okay, a pen or a marker, right? It's a pen or a marker because we mark with it. Okay, we write with it. If a puppy dog were to see this, what would the puppy dog do with it? I'm interacting with Jiha. Can you unmute? Do you want to interact? You ask a question, so I'm trying to help.
Yes.
If a puppy dog see this, what would the puppy dog do?
It's a toy or bone.
Yeah, a puppy dog would see that as a toy or bone, so it would, chew on it or play with it. You and I see this as a marker or pen because we write with it. A puppy dog see this as a toy or bone, it would chew on it. Okay. So are we correct or is the dog correct? Who's right? Are we right or is the dog right?
You are right.
We're both right.
Yeah.
It is both a pen and it is both a toy. Now, if I will put this down and I leave the room, you leave the room, and the dog leaves the room. If nobody is around, what is this?
So it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yes.
It's nothing, not because it doesn't exist, it exists, right? It's nothing, but not because it's not real, it's real. It's nothing because there is no observer observing it.
No one, no observes, look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, nobody. Okay. So now I come back to the room, you come back to the room, we pick this up, we see that as a pen or a marker. At the same time, the dog comes back in, it will see that as a toy or bone, it will chew on it. So this thing here, in essence, is empty. The essence of all things are empty. It only becomes something when there is an observer identifying it as something. In fact, it is not even the thing, because the thing is that what human being, we call it a thing, right? A thing is the same as saying a pen or a marker. So the essence of all things are empty. So we apply it to ourselves. If we are already someone, right, ourselves, if we are no one, okay, this is, if this nothing, and it only becomes a pen when a human being look at it, it becomes a toy when a dog plays with it. So ourselves, in essence, is the same thing. As a human being, we are no one. And because we are no one, we can become anyone. It depends on how we choose to attribute identity. If we are no one, then we can become anyone. But if we are already someone, then we cannot be anyone else. In other words, if I am no one, then I can become a healthy person, I can be happy, I can be rich. But I'm already sick, then it is harder to become healthy. If I'm already poor, then it's harder to become rich. If I'm already sad, it is harder to become happy. But if I'm no one, then I can become anyone. If I'm a husband, then I can't be anything else. But if I am no one, then I can become a husband when it's time to become a husband. I can be a father when it comes to become a father. I can be a business person when it's time to become a business person. As long as I recognize that I am no one, then I can be anyone. Does that not open up the power of choice? It is the choice. This pen, it could be a pen if I use it to write, but it could be a business opportunity. But if it is nothing but the pen, if it is only a pen, then all I can do is write. It can't be anything else. But if this thing is nothing, then I can choose to make it a business opportunity. I can market this, produce it, and sell it and make a lot of money. If this is only a pen, then it's only costs, a few cents, a few dollars. But if I think of this as a business opportunity, then this thing here can be millions of dollars if I choose to turn it into an economic business opportunity. Same thing with ourselves. If we are already someone, then we can't be anybody else. We are limited by that identity. Remember, human beings, we have this attachment to identity. But if we can let go of that identity for the moment, then we can become anybody. When needed, we can become a mother. When needed, we can become a wife. When needed, we can become a daughter. When needed, we can become a business person. When needed, we can become a mentor with, a teacher. But if we're stuck with the identity, we're already someone, then we can't be anybody else. attachment to identity is another one of those sources of suffering. Did you get that so far? So that's why we say, if we are no one, then we can be anyone. But if we're already someone, if we're stuck to identity, then we can't become anyone. We are tied, we're trapped. But if we are no one, then we are free to be anyone at any time. What do you think about that?
It's just like if we are zero, we can create more and more important thing, right?
No, I don't know what you mean by if we're zero.
Not
We're
really.
saying that if we are no one, then we can become anyone. Okay? If we are no
Not
one,
at
then we
all.
can become anyone. Yeah, it is an
Turn back
awareness.
to zero. Turn back to zero.
Okay.
It's about thính không.
Yes, in the Vietnamese language, vạn vật có tính không, meaning
Yeah.
all things are essentially empty. Human being, we have a nature of emptiness. Con người có tánh không. So we are talking about the human nature, the ego personality. If we let our ego personality dictate who we are, then we can't be anybody else. But if we can be our true self, which is nothing, no one, then at any moment we can choose to express and become anyone. All things are essentially empty, and human nature is essentially empty as well. Yeah, did you get that?
Yeah, that means when I see any situation with a view with know my experience before or others, I see it with natural feeling. It's not depends on my past experience, right?
Yeah.
In Vietnam I say khách quan, right?
Yeah. So yeah, so when we experience, some external circumstances, this is a review since you guys are asking questions about the previous lesson. So this is a review. Remember this. This is, we have, let me draw this again. So we have the will. Okay. Around that, we have the will to hear, see, speak, and know. This is our true self. This is our inner being. Okay. Put this one right here. Yep, let's do yellow. Yellow stands for halo of light, radiant light. That's our inner being. We have this layer. Outside of that, we have the layer of our ego. Okay, I just showing it as ego. Outside of that, we have our emotion. Okay. Both the ego and the emotions, our personality, they have positive and negative, right? Sometimes we feel good, sometimes we feel bad. Let's do positive and negative. Too much positive will swing to negativity, too much negative can go positive. It is our past perspective that influence the way we see things. And here we say that with the emotion, we react. With the layer of ego, we analyze. Analyze. So when an information, any kind of information comes in, whether it's a circumstance or somebody says something, when some information comes in, when we are greeted with it, normally we let it go through the emotion and the ego. Our judgment comes into play. We may react with a certain emotion. And it could be positive, it could be negative, but it's no longer true because it has taken on a positive and negative emotional or personality charge. It is no longer true. However, if we receive an information where somebody say something, let's say somebody call us stupid, okay, or crazy, which a friend just crazy, okay, somebody call us crazy, and we just receive it. We welcome it, receive it without charging it with emotion or our ego. Then we have essentially welcome reception. We receive it. We just receive it. And it's true. It is just somebody say the word crazy. C-R-A-Z-Y. No emotion, no analytical, and it's very light. Very light. And we experience a degree of inner peace when we don't let the emotion and the ego weigh it down. We are not trapped by it. We're not entangled by it. We're not pulled down by it. And so there's the method of receiving it. Okay, we use a RAF. So whenever we encounter a situation, let's imagine that this is a RAF of true hearing and seeing. So imagine this is a river, right? This is a river, and the other shore is a shore of serenity, inner peace, serenity. This is a raft. Okay, and this space is emptiness of being. So when we experience a information, somebody call us crazy or something, we just use the raft of true hearing and true seeing. And we float across the river. And the longer we can maintain true hearing and true seeing, the longer we stay on the raft, the longer we experience this space of emptiness, and the closer we are to serenity. Does that make sense? So this analogy is a practice. We just, life sometimes undesirable circumstances come to us, right? Undesirable things, unwanted things, pain, suffering. It is only pain and suffering when we have fallen off the raft. The raft of true seeing and true hearing enables us to maintain a space of emptiness. The longer we can extend that space of emptiness. Okay, I hear what I hear and I see what I see. I know that I'm hearing, I know what I'm seeing, and that's it. I don't fall into the water. I don't fall into emotion and ego. Then I can experience inner peace. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It is
it
the
means
space of
emptiness of being without emotions and ego in it when
correct.
we get information. Okay, thank you so
Exactly.
much.
Emptiness of being means no emotion and no ego. It's just information. In fact, there's another idea of, let's see. Okay, so there's another idea that I want to throw out there. Pain versus suffering. Pain is a physical sensation, right? Somebody pinch you, somebody cut your arm, you feel pain. Pain is automatic. That's something the body feel. But suffering is up here in your mind. Pain, life sometimes will inevitable. Inevitable. Pain is inevitable. You're going to experience pain. From the moment we're born, the baby cry because they experience pain. But suffering is a choice. In Vietnamese, đau và khổ. You can đau, ai cũng đau, nhưng mà khổ, it's a choice. Okay, we tend to connect the two. Pain and suffering go together, but no. You can experience pain, but if you experience pain, so now instead of crazy, we have pain.
So pain is true. It's true. Physical
Yeah,
hurting.
physical pain. Even
Suffer is our choice.
Yeah, you can experience pain, right?
Get a good mark at school. I feel suffer. Well, another way I so no. Steps for success. So I'm not frustrated. I go try again. So not suffer.
Yeah. So circumstances in life can give us pain.
So
And if we
attitude.
let the emotion and the ego take over, it becomes suffering. But if
Depend
we
on
just
our
see that as pain,
attitude.
then it's just pain. Then we still experience serenity amidst pain. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. It makes sense. I got it.
Yeah. So this is why it is called the truth within us. And that's why in the Bible it says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. When you know this, then you will be free from suffering. We experience pain, life is pain, but we can be free from suffering. We can be free from attachment to egos and the ego and the emotions. Okay.
Yeah, it's a new thing for me about pain and suffering. It's different.
Yeah. Now we can separate pain from suffering. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
That was a
living.
long discussion. I had no idea. I didn't think we were going to go 3 hours. Okay. But
Yeah.
I think that's
Thank
enough
you
for
so
today.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much once again for the discussion. I think we got a lot more from the discussion at the end than from the lecture at the beginning. Say
Yeah.
hello. Say hello.
Hello, boy.
Okay. All righty. Happy New Year, everybody. Good
Hello,
night.
little boy.
Happy New Year.
Okay.
Happy New Year, boy.
Take care.
Happy New Year.
Can he say Vietnamese?
Dạ có.
Yeah, có em đó.
Có, yeah, good.
Khỏe
Chúc
không?
mừng năm mới.
Chúc mừng năm mới con nha.
Ừ.
Hôm nay con học được gì không? Con có thấy những điều gì hay của bạn bè nào không? có chứa đựng hình ảnh tốt đẹp về người khác không? Ừ.
Ừ.
Ừ. Nói tiếng Anh tiếng Việt cũng được hết đó. Chưa.
Khi chơi với con.
Khi chơi với con đó, ok. Chứa đựng tức là cái chuyện đó là cái điều đó là điều tốt đúng không? Con khi chơi với con thì con sao? Tâm thái con phải sao? Vui, ok. Rồi con làm gì nữa? Được những cái điều hay thì mình làm gì?
Khi cho con một thứ gì.
Ừ, ok, thì con phải làm sao? Khi mình được những cái điều mình thích thì mình làm gì?
Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn, có cảm ơn không? Có nói chi cảm ơn không?
Nhớ.
Ừ, quên rồi phải không? Đó.
Oh, you
Ừ,
great.
khác không? Ngon đấy. Ok, chào các anh chị nha. Good night.
Yeah, chào
Bye.
chào thầy.
Bye bye
Chào
thầy.
Becky nha. Bye bye.